Cars! Cars! Who doesn't like cars?
I like turtles.
Alright, mate. That's a bit weird, but alright then. I know that you know that I know that you know that cars are pretty cool. And do you know what else is cool? Well, I don't know either, but where's GTA 6, man? I know. If you watch my last video, then you will get an idea when it should and probably will come out. Once you're done watching that video, come back here, of course, because in this video, I made a list of returning and new vehicles that I think should be in Grand Theft Auto 6. The way I've structured this list is by going through different vehicle classes like muscle, sports classics, motorbikes, SUV, sports, and super. And for each class, I will give 2 returning vehicles from the franchise, and then I will give 1 newcomer to the series as well. I originally was planning to do planes, jets, military type vehicles, but it took me ages to grind missions to even get this video done. It took me like 2 damn weeks of non-stop work to get this video out, so you better be bloody grateful, mate. So let's stop pissing about and let's start off with muscle cars. The first car on my list is the Vapid Dominator GTT. It will be absolute sacrilege not to have a damn 1969 Mustang Boss in your list of favorite muscle cars. It's impossible not to gush over the absolute presence that the car gives, and I feel that Rockstar did a fantastic job to bring that into GTA 5 and hopefully GTA 6. If I were to change anything about this car, it would maybe be to add drag tires or just thicker tires in general, and maybe allow engine swaps to make this car even quicker. I think engine swaps will be a thing in GTA 6 anyway, but as I was saying, this car would be nice to have those little features added on, but to be fair, it doesn't really need it. It's a fantastic car, and I hope it gets added to GTA 6. Next up, we have the Imponte Dukes, or as we humans know it, as the 1969 Dodge Charger, and again, one absolute beauty and a beast at the same time, mate. Such a nice looking car. However, in the GTA series, it hasn't always looked 100% accurate to how it looks in real life. Sure, for the most part, it looks the same, but for me, I know Rockstar can make it more like its real life counterpart, changing the front bumper a bit, have the body slightly more angular, and change up the rear bumper to have a more iconic shape. You know, the Dodge rear lights. You know what I'm talking about. Rockstar added the Daytona look already in the game, but it's given to a different car, the Bravado Gauntlet Classic Custom. I think if they blend the standard Gauntlet Classic with the Imponte Dukes, then we will get the ultimate version of the Dodge Charger. If Rockstar wants to, then I guess they could call it like the Imponte Dukes DC and have it like an upgrade for the standard car. To me that would be fine, just as long as they add the car looking the way it should be into the game, I'll be happy. Now this next car is, technically not new, it's already been in the game, but this is my list, so I can do whatever I want. I was thinking about what other muscle car I'd want to see, but I realized that there is one in the game that I'd also like to see called the Declassi Vigoro. The car looks cool, but I think it needs that same treatment like with the Imponte Dukes. Like I said, even though I think the car looks great as it is, I think it needs to be more accurate to the 1969 Camaro SS. No, I don't mean that SS, come on. Camaros, I think, are a little bit underrated. I could be wrong, obviously. I like cars, but I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fanatic, so I wouldn't really know people's opinion, but I think the Camaro SS in particular gets undermined a bit when it comes to muscle cars. But I think it looks really good, so I hope that they add it in. And yeah, you guys are probably seeing a pattern with the dates that these cars are made. It's just, 1969 must have been a great year for cars. I know, I don't just like it because it says 69, I promise. In game, this car isn't very fast and has a very lacking amount of customization. I get that it was one of the first vehicles they added to GTA 5, so the performance and looks of the vehicles weren't up to the standard that they are now. But yeah, if they managed to get those changes in for GTA 6, then I'll be very pleased, that's for sure. My first choice for the first sports classic car to return should be the Corvette Classic. Although it barely resembles the 1969 Corvette Stingray, well, except for maybe the back of the car. Although the in-game model barely looks like the actual car, I still think that it should return and yet again be given the appropriate upgrades to improve its appearance and get it all looking absolutely amazing. The Stingray is one of the sleekest looking sports classic cars that I've ever seen, and it's a huge missed opportunity to not spruce it up to its full potential and give it all the glory it deserves. Just imagine racing around Vice City in this sexy thing. Oh yes, it's making me cry tears of joy. This is probably the car that I most want to appear out of all the cars on my list. I feel if they just make a few tweaks to the design, then it will be a very popular car for GTA 6. My second choice for sports classics would be the Declasse Mamba, better known as the 1965 Shelby Cobra. Like the Stingray, it's one of the nicest looking classic sports cars of all time, with its rounded, more elegant design with a sense of root and strength. It's one of those cars that you can both cruise around in and also blitz your way down the motorway with no problem at all. In the leaks about GTA 6, people found the sports team called the Vice City Mambas. Now, the Vice City Mambas were always a thing in the Grand Theft Auto series, especially in, well, Vice City. But recently in GTA 5, there was a new livery that had a new design to it. And a lot of people, including me, are speculating that the livery or the design itself was passed down from GTA 6 and put into GTA 5 as a little tease. Seeing as there's the Vice City Mambas, as in the in-game sports team, and then having the Declasse Mamba, it just makes a lot of sense to put them together in the same game. Overall though, the Mamba is one of my favourite cars in GTA 5 and I hope that it comes back for GTA 6. Alright, I'm being deadly serious now. If Rockstar doesn't add this next car in, then they are probably going to have a lot of issues with me, mate, that's for sure. The vehicle that should be introduced into GTA 6 is the winner of the 1966 Le Mans, the Ford GT40. I'm sure that I'm not the only person who thinks this is a great idea and should be seriously considered to appear in the future. It's one of the most iconic pieces of race car history that should be available for players to purchase and enjoy. Rockstar could maybe implement the cars in a similar format to race, like how they did with the Hot Ring vehicles, making a whole style of race around the vehicles themselves. Seeing as GTA 6 will definitely be a bigger map, they can use these cars and use them sort of Le Mans style, where instead of doing like a 24-hour around a track, they could just do the whole GTA 6 map. I think that's a great way of using the cars. If you don't agree, then I don't know, go to sleep, mate. The closest thing that we have to the GT40 in GTA 5 is either the Bugatti Monroe, but that's modeled off the Lamborghini Miura, the Vapid Bullet, which is based on the Ford GT 2005 version, and then the Vapid FMJ, which is then based on the Ford GT 2017 version. The problem is that these cars are all modernized version of the classic GT40, but not the car itself. Hopefully Rockstar will hear us and actually implement that car into the game and finally make it a reality. I'm going to start off my list of motorbikes with the Western Reaver, who you can probably tell by the name is actually based on Keanu Reeves' motorcycle brand Arch, and the bike is more specifically the 2020 Arch KRGT1. I've always been an appreciator of motorcycles and never really knew what styles of bikes I like the best. Recently, however, I've been watching a lot of videos on different motorcycles and multiple brands, looking to see what looks cool and stuff like that, and I came to realize that the cafe races, roadsters, cruisers and retro styled motorcycles were my preferred look. So when I came across the Arch KRGT1 and found out that there was one in GTA Online, I knew that I had to get it, and I'm very happy that I did get it. The bike is very fast and can be sporty while also having that heavy muscle car quality to it that really tickles my brain, and something else too. But most importantly, I thought it looked totally badass, bruh. So that's why I believe it should be brought over to GTA 6. The next bike on the list is the Pagani FCR 1000 Custom, which is based partly on the BMW R100 and the British Matchless G3L. It's a very unique bike that allows for many customizations, so you can turn it from a modern sports bike into a more vintage looking bike. And I think the performance is really good. I love the customizations, and I think that it has its own little charm, especially when you add the military aesthetics to it. It just makes me like it even more. For the new bike, I would go for the Triumph Rocket 3. For, well, I mean, look at the dang engine and the exhaust, man. It is a rocket in every sense of the word. I think it would be funny just to have this massive bike that could maybe have some type of boost feature to make it unique enough to warrant buying it. Now, I'm not saying that the bike looks particularly bad. I think it looks, pretty cool and quite amusing at the same time. But knowing Rockstar, they'll see the engine size and the exhaust size, and if they add a boost, like I mentioned, then they'll make it very extortionate. I think it'll be very expensive, but I still think it should be added to the game because, who doesn't want a bike that looks like a huge Batmobile that got squished into the shape and the size of a motorcycle? I would buy it. So bloody add it into GTA 6 then, mate. The first 4x4 on my list is the Vapid Carcharodontosaurus. I think it's pronounced Caracara. Or better known in real life as the Ford Raptor. Gosh darn Ford pickup truck, man. Oh yeah, I like my squirrel gravy for my dinner. Oh yeah. What's not to like? It's a huge vehicle that looks cool and feels good to drive. It also would be effective for different situations. If the final game is anything like the leaks, then apparently in GTA 6 your character will not be able to have a whole gun store in their pocket, and that you'll only be able to carry 2 to 3 guns at one time. If this is the case, then a good way of carrying around more weapons, armor and all that type of stuff would be to put it in the back on the truck bed. That is a feature that I think will and really should be in the game, to be able to access the trunk of the car and put your belongings into it. This pickup truck, in my opinion, would be enjoyable to drive and handle through all different kinds of terrain, whilst also being very useful to the player. So I hope that it gets brought into GTA 6. I mean, I'm pretty sure it will, because it's a Ford Raptor. I mean, who the hell ain't gonna have a Ford Raptor? Can't do that voice anymore. The second SUV on my list would be the Bugatti Chiron, better known as a Lamborghini Urus. I picked this car for similar reasons as the previous car on my list, but also because it would be a more sporty and or nimble version. It could have the same features, but to change it up a bit, Rockstar could decrease the space for items available as a way of balancing out its speed capabilities. That's pretty much the reason I went for this car, so let me show you the new car that I would introduce. I know this probably isn't the greatest of things, but I'm having a hard time finding the actual name of this SUV. But I know it's a Mercedes-Benz GLE, I'm pretty sure. But I'll put a picture up on screen right now, but it's those huge ones that look absolutely beast-like. It's just like a bit of a unit, mate. And it's also a bit sporty like the previous SUV. It would probably have to have like a halfway point of the features I described before, having slightly less speed than the Lamborghini Urus, but maybe have more armor or more weapon capability like the Ford Raptor. It's a very stylish car as well, so a lot of car guys I think would appreciate this being in GTA 6 as much as I would. So do us a favour, put it in the game now. The first sports car on my list would be the Obey 10F. I grew to really enjoy doing races and driving around Los Santos with this car. It's part of Benny's, so it has a lot of nice customization options, especially the wide body kit. It's a great looking car and has a great amount of performance, which makes me like it a lot more than I probably would have. I mean, who doesn't want a 2023 Audi R8? Those look absolutely beauty, mate. The second sports car on my list would be the Italy GTO, which is based on the Ferrari Super Fast. Whoa! Can't do that voice right now. All the handling and the performance is there in this car. And this is arguably the most popular and or widely used sports cars for races in GTA 5. So a lot of you probably already use this or know about this car, so I don't really have to talk about it too much. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Now, again, this is technically cheating, but this is my list, so I do what I want. But if I was going to have another sports car that should be in GTA 6, I would go for the Corvette 2014 Stingray. But I forgot that it already technically exists in GTA 5. However, if they're going to bring it to GTA 6, then they should modernize it and make it look more like the real life car, especially at the back of the car. It needs to be more identical. Really, the whole car in general needs to be more identical. Needs better customizations as well, and better liveries, or more liveries. So yeah, hopefully they add that into GTA 6 as well. Now, with the last vehicle class, Super. The first supercar on my list is the Truffaut Nero Custom, or, you know, the normal Truffaut Nero. It's a Bugatti, so it's cool enough by itself. But yeah, ever since that one geezer was showing his Bugatti off, I, grew to really be interested in Bugattis again. When I was younger, I always thought they looked pretty cool. And anyway, when I think of Miami, I think of multi-millionaires. And generally, what multi-millionaires and billionaires like to drive are Ferraris, Lamborghinis, McLarens, and then Bugattis. And anyway, it looks great in this game, and I know it will definitely look great in GTA 6, so it'd be silly if they don't add it. People use it for races all the time, and yeah, it just makes sense to bring it into GTA 6. Now, to the final car of the list. Some of you might expect it, which I doubt, and some of you might be a little bit disappointed, but it doesn't matter because this is my list. But I think that they should bring back the Pagani Zentorno. Now I know you might be thinking, why would you do the Zentorno and not like the Adder? Well, like I explained just a few seconds ago, I already have a Bugatti in the list, so I thought it makes sense to not add the Adder. So I decided, what is another very popular car in GTA 5 that's been around for many years and still looks very good? And I thought, the Zentorno. And also, while I was recording footage for, all these vehicles, it was on offer. It was almost like the universe was saying to me, you want it, take the car, buy it now. And anyway, it's a great car. It performs well, looks really nice, especially because they introduced more customization options for it. And also, it's just iconic for GTA 5. And I think they should just bring it over to GTA 6. And also, I didn't realize, but apparently it's based on the Aventador in real life. Lamborghini Aventador. I mean, it doesn't really look like the Aventador, but in this instance, I wouldn't mind if they kept it looking like the original. Maybe if they did want to introduce a more accurate Aventador, they could just do the upgrade system that I mentioned before, and then, it could be its own version. But the Zentorno, it's a classic, and I think it should be brought into GTA 6. I don't really have a preference for what wishlist vehicle I'd want for GTA 6, but then I realized that there aren't really many McLarens in GTA 5. I know there's the T20, but besides that, I don't really see that much. So I thought, why not go for a 2023 McLaren Artura? Very cool vehicle, very fast in real life. I don't know how fast it would be in GTA. Hopefully fast. And yeah, they should just add that into the game. Give more love to McLaren. There's lots of love for Ferrari, Lamborghini, and Bugatti, like I said, but not really that much for McLaren. So I think they should put more emphasis into McLarens. But yeah, that's everything from my list. Tell me down in the comments below if you would have picked any other vehicles or changed my list around, or if you like my list and agree with my ideas and points of view. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, mate. Make love to the subscribe button and ring the bell to stay notified of any future posts on this very channel. I have a goal that by the end of this year, I would have reached 1,000 subscribers. And with your help, you guys can accomplish that dream and help me grow on this platform, which is known as YouTube, obviously. So if you're willing to help me get to that goal and reach it as soon as possible, then please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, comment and share my video so that my channel gets spread across the YouTube algorithm and I'll be able to finally reach that goal by the end of the year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you very, very soon. Peace.